All right, we're back for another episode, if I can spit that out. Today we have another success story from Team DynaMo, Ashley Beeman from the Phoenix area in our 10-minute countdown. Woo! Can you do it?
I think so.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with just we want to hear your story a little bit, where you started, and we'll move right into the specific program that you're using that really triggered your fitness. Just give us a little of the background, kind of where you were starting, what some of the challenges you had just when you started.
All right, sounds good. Well, go ahead.
You're up. Run with it. Go.
Well, I started back in 2011 with my fitness journey after I had my son, about 9 months after that. And I tried a few programs. I tried to do Insanity, and that lasted about 30 seconds. And then I decided that P90X would probably be better for me.
Don't worry, Shaun's not listening. I don't think he is.
Yeah, I was like looking at the screen like, what is going on? This is not happening right now. So then I decided that maybe weights would be better, and I went with P90X, and I lasted a little bit longer with that one. Yeah. But I still couldn't keep on track, so I went to Turbo Fire, and that was definitely my go-to workout for a while. And then I just kind of bounced around for a long time until I got pregnant again, had my second son, and was doing all right and pretty much lost all the weight, but I was still struggling with eating, and it really wasn't until I got in with the 21-day fix and committed to the nutrition program did I really actually feel good about that. And then came the holidays, and this is always the hardest time for me. And I knew that the 21-day fix nutrition was probably going to go out the window. I was going to try really hard, but I wanted something to challenge me, and that is when I started Max 30.
So what were your, it sounds like a couple failures, but some success, or some better success, and a little bit like that.
Yeah.
When you started the 21-day fix, that was maybe one of the first ones that stuck for you, it sounds like, or?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, the first time I did it, I definitely followed the workout program, but the nutrition program, I was like, oh, I've got this down, I'm good. And after being stuck at a plateau for 5 months, I'm like, maybe I should follow the nutrition plan. And that's when I was able to lose the last 10 pounds of baby weight. That was probably last May is when that happened.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
So I wonder why they threw this little nutrition guide in here. I wonder if this is worth looking at. Yeah, you're not alone. I think a lot of people, I'll pick on the guys. I always say this, but I think guys are a little bit more stubborn as far as nutrition, because we're meat eaters and heavy lifters is kind of the stereotype. And that's the last thing that a guy would do, and it's pretty common for women as well to think they can just out-exercise the food piece and maybe have to splurge on all the treats that are out over the holidays. And I think you got to find a balance. So how did you handle the holidays?
I definitely think that people look at the 21-day fix and they overcomplicate it in their head, because that's what I was doing. But as soon as I just laid it out and did it, I'm like, this is easier than any other plan I've ever followed before. So it worked that way for me. But when the holidays came along, I knew I needed to do something that was going to get me excited and up my game fitness-wise. I always have been pretty athletic, and I look like I have the strongest legs ever. But it's genetics. And so I wanted to really challenge myself. I couldn't do 10 jumping jacks before I started Max 30, and that was last year before I would fall over. So I committed to it. I, told myself, you're going to last more than 30 seconds than you did with Insanity, and I just fell in love. Every single day I looked forward to getting up and maxing out.
So how did your times improve when you were from month 1 to month 2, or even from each week? Because I did it actually a full round, and then I kind of mix it in now with a hybrid, and it kicks my.
Yes.
Are we clean here or not? It kicks my butt a lot. It's hard.
I get so excited.
Love it though.
Yes, that's why I get like just talking about it. I'm like, oh, I want to do it. But I started out like maxing out like 3 minutes, and then I think my highest was only 10.
Yeah, and I think I have to call it out. I think some people are saying like 19, 25 minutes out of 30 sometimes, and I know some can do it, but I know where I am at, and I push myself pretty hard. The whole idea of maxing out is to push yourself, and when you start to slow down or stop even for a few seconds, you're maxing out.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a competition with anyone else. It's just your own number.
I completely agree, and definitely it's like full blown going out, and then if I modify later, but that's not, that's going.
Exactly.
Well.
So that was pretty good. Let's focus a little bit on what were some of the biggest challenges that came up besides the food was more of an awareness thing, a triggering that got you past some of the plateaus. But how about time for at home, just a schedule that you have? Those are the things that come up that really throw things off. Or did you have any trouble with your why? Why am I doing this? The whole grind kind of stuff that seems to come up a lot too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that when I did start it at that point, I didn't really know what my why was with fitness because you have
genetics, right?
Yeah. Well, I have genetics in some places. Well, Max 30 made me have genetics everywhere.
We came up with a new phrase. Nice genetics. We can make T-shirts now too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just always stereotyped myself in this. Like I always was bigger with bigger muscles, and I thought it was muscle. But after I did Max 30, I got down to a weight where I was in high school, and that's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So, and just the way that Shaun T talks in there, he just got me excited about life. Like it went so much further than just the workout program because it really pushed me in everything I did while I was doing it. And I think that's why I get so excited when I talk about it, because it was so much more than just 30 minutes a day of maxing out.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because even we were both at the Cancun trip recently, and that workout I think it was on Saturday with Shaun, was so electric because he takes it above and beyond the workout. And we don't get that as much from a cold basement hitting the DVD or streaming. But when you were in that whole full room of hundreds of people, and he played that very first song when he played, stretching his arms up, I was like so wound up. That's what I get out of it, is just the energy. But do you feel that from the DVD with Shaun?
I definitely do. I didn't connect with that in Insanity, but with this DVD, I do. It's like, it is crazy. I will be in the worst mood ever, and my husband will be like, you should probably go do Max 30. Yeah. And then come talk to me because you'll feel better.
Well, that's interesting. Elaborate on that, because there's two schools of thought with exercising in general is, I have to get up and work out, and I'm trying to get on this, I'm done with this in a few weeks, and I don't have to do it anymore because I have that event. There's the have to, and then there's the get to. I get to go work out, or I get to do this workout because I feel so much better.
Yeah.
When were you at the point maybe before you started all the workouts where you just dreaded it and that shift, or did you always like working out?
No, for sure. I definitely, there's been some workouts like I think there's some, you just have to
Brazil butt lift.
I think you have to find the one that connects with you, because I remember before Beachbody, when I would go to the gym and stuff, like I could definitely rock out like a spin class, but I could go into another class and just dread it like crazy. So I think it's important to find one that you like and you connect with. But at the same time, I didn't connect or like with Shaun T before I started Max 30. So it was time for me to try something new and be excited about it, instead of telling yourself in your head, you're not going to like this, which is what the old Ashley would have done, would just gave up before I started.
And that goes into the mindset, is it's not just push-ups and jumping jacks, and your mind has to kind of get in the right state of mind. and the endorphins go wild anyway when you get yourself moving, and you start to really look forward to it, and then it's a snowball effect in the good direction.
For sure.
Yeah. I had another thought. Oh, Body Beast. I had the same thing. When Body Beast came out, I thought it was really, Sagi, you're not, look away. I thought it was kind of stupid. But because it just seemed like a, totally meathead kind of, but now it's one of my favorite workouts, and I pretty much do that workout every day now.
Yeah, that's
a mix of a hybrid in there, but
that's pretty much what I'm doing right now is Body Beast and Max 30.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
It seems like it's working out pretty great because I can still get the, rush. And then weights is my thing, like go to anytime. Yeah. So I'm probably, one of the ones that did Chalene Extreme through the entire thing. So
I did Turbo Fire for 8 weeks.
That's good.
I have 4 left feet. I seriously cannot get that. But when size comes out, I'm actually looking really forward to size. It seems pretty fun.
Yes,
I'll do that.
Really not a dancer. I say I was a cheerleader in high school, but that doesn't qualify me as a dancer.
Well, I qualify for everything for a non-dancer. The white man's over, I won't do it. But I need some rhythm, so that's what I'm gonna do.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah. So I know we only have 10 minutes, so there's a couple just final thoughts I want to wrap this up a little bit. Is how do you feel where you're at now with your fitness compared to a few years ago, since you've been through a lot of family changes, babies and different schedules, and your frame of mind's been different. How do you feel now overall going forward? And really, what's your biggest thing that really keeps you moving, keeps pressing you to a new goal?
I think
like your new why.
Yeah. It's definitely different. Before it was all about the way I looked, the weight, the number on the scale, that, and just having to do it. And I don't know, definitely not the right mindset, hitting pause or sitting down on the couch, in the middle of workouts. But once I, got into it more, it's a whole mind thing. Like it gets my mind right. I get up in the morning and work out. I never would get up in the morning at 5 o'clock and just get out of bed and work out. And now it's all about the way I feel. The looks, that's a perk, I guess. But
show the guns. There you go. There you go.
That is definitely a plus, but definitely the way I feel and just seeing what your body can do. It's really crazy. And I think when you push yourself, it just doesn't stop at the fitness. It goes on to the rest of your life and the rest of the goals that you have in your life. And just showing, and showing my kids that it's something that we do every day, and it's normal. It's part of the routine.
Yeah, that was going to close on is that you already touched on this briefly, is that we're coaches and we want to be in shape and show what's possible, but how much more confidence do you have to be a business owner in fitness by crushing your workout in the morning and getting that natural high to really push you towards wanting to help others have that same feeling?
Oh, for sure. It definitely pushes you a lot. And it gets you excited when you're talking to people, because if you're not crushing your workouts and you're just, your confidence level is going to be low. And it really, I think that through Max 30 is when my confidence came out, and when I, was able to say I did this and I finished 60 days of this, and now I'm obsessed with Shaun T. So
I don't think you're the first one. So.
Well, it took me 3 years, but
I mean, I really respect him just overall as a person as well, because it's much bigger than fitness. Like I mentioned the group workout, but at all the events that I've been to, when he's doing live workouts, he always does some little speech at the end, and he's just speaking from the heart about truly how much things can change in your life for the better when you apply fitness and you push yourself and you're around others, and it's well beyond the fitness piece. So that's what's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. His podcast, I love listening to his.
I can't believe I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh,
I had podcast overflow because I had like 10 shows. Lewis House, shout out to you. He's top of my list right now. So
yeah, he's always on top of my list too.
Exactly. Ooh. So we'll put the links to all of your information, Instagram, Facebook, fax, scan, all that kind of stuff below. That was a weak attempt at humor there. Down below. And then if anyone has any questions, make sure you reach out to Ashley, and she'll get you rocking with Max 30, 21-day fix, anything else that falls along those lines. So thanks for taking the time, and you did very well for compacting it into those 10 minutes.
Thank
and
you.
Until the next episode of Beachbody Team DynaMo Success Stories, we're out. From Greg from Minneapolis, Ashley from Phoenix. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.